It's Don's Saturday Snowtacular. Look at this. Look at all the snow that showed up overnight. I'm up near Boston, just a stone's throw from the harbor in Nashua, New Hampshire. I was thinking of going up to Maine today. It's like 60 miles away. Maybe that may happen. I'm at Pintastic 2025, which is a Pintacular event. I'm having a great time here. And I thought in lieu of doing a full recorded episode, I would jump on the live here. It's Saturday anyway, right? What better time to stream? The long and short, or the long and veiny of it, is that I'm having myself a great time here at this show. I've been to a lot of shows now. Southern Fried Gaming Expo, TPF Expo in Chicago. I've been down to the Louisville Event Center for their arcade, whatever. Midwest Gaming Classic several times. Who else can I compare it to? Pinball at the Beach, very unique event. This event, Pintastic, also feels very unique. And the part about it that I like is this is a regional event, like Free Play Florida was last year when I went to that. I've been to IAPA as well. So big ones and small ones. Free Play Florida was probably the smallest, with Louisville in contention. And so this is on the smaller half of the shows. Of the regional shows that I've done, though, I'm thinking Free Play, the Pinball at the Beach, the Louisville Expo. This is probably the better of them. Oh, the Louisville Expo was like a small expo, not like a big regional event. Regardless, a good regional event, a lot of free play games, not a ton of waiting. Usually, sometimes none, but oftentimes one person, or one group to wait for. So there's not like huge lines. The thing that sets this apart, and I said this on the live stream when I went around yesterday, is there's like 8 different rooms that belong to clubs, that belong to like VIP level guests. The extra ball lounge has like 4 rooms in it, where essentially, there's like 5 people in there and like 10 games. And so it's like, go nuts. You can play in there all day. And the versions of the games that they have, owned mostly by the showrunner, are of very high quality. There's a homebrew room that has twice as many homebrew games that we had at Texas Pinball Festival. So yeah, I think if you're in the Northeast, if you're in New York, if you're in wherever, Boston, or even Eastern Pennsylvania, like this would be a great event to go to. I haven't been to Pinfest. Pinbrew's also going off this weekend. Haven't been there yet. So there's some more I have to get to. Golden State, people keep talking it up. I got stories about Lodi. Maybe I'll get out there at some point, but it probably won't be this May. So slowly I'm making my way around to all the shows. The show is super fun. Not a ton of vendors. So like people selling like crocheted anime characters. Not a lot of that here. Some, but not all. There's a baked goods lady. That's pretty good. They ran out of Diet Coke yesterday at the hotel lobby, so that sucks. But there's a restaurant on site, and the hotel is right there. So it's fun. I would consider coming back to this event because it is pretty fun. What's the game of the show? The fashionable thing to say is Portal's the game of the show. The most interesting game of the show is probably this Hangover homebrew that Rita Hardy and, sorry, the other guy's name escapes me, did a makeover of either a Shrek or a Family Guy into the Hangover, and I'm in love with this game. I'm not judging it based on a commercially releasable game, right? If they were asking money for this, of course some concerns would come up, modes and such, but the game is super fun to play. A lot of creativity that's in it. I love this. As a re-theme, this is fantastic, man. It's fantastic. So that was a ton of fun. I think the only new games here that people are playing for the first time, Evil Dead for sure, probably D&D as well. And then Portal was probably the big one, although there is an ABBA, though it has not worked the entire time here, and I don't think that's necessarily a fault of the Pinball Tycoon. But what the heck, I want to play some ABBA. I got to play a Spinal Tap finally, which I'm very happy about. Now I've completed my home pin set. I've played every home pin game now. I've seen Spinal Tap before at the Las Vegas Pinball Hall of Fame, non-functional, wasn't even turned on. In this case, it was turned on, but I don't think it was supposed to be. It was stuck on ball 1 with an endless ball save, and the game is just absolutely the dog's bollocks. It is not a good game. It's unplayable. It's an unplayable game. You have to, I had to work to get my ball all the way up one of the ramps. Like I had to hit it perfectly clean to get that left ramp. I was able to get it. Never got the inner ramp. And I don't know what kind of joke this is. There's no way to hit that inner ramp that goes up to that little upper playfield area with that bivalve opening mech, like the only mechanism in the game. It looks like you're supposed to hit it from either the right flipper or the right upper flipper, but that right upper flipper is not getting anything. Forget it. Forget it. No, the game was designed by somebody that should not be designing games. You know, I don't know that I could do any better, but I would rather play Blues Brothers. I had so much more fun playing Blues Brothers than I did Spinal Tap, and it's sad to me. It's sad to me. So please stop. Hoping, please stop. Unless you're successful and you're selling a game, you got your audience, fine. But I know that asking $5,000 for Blues Brothers made less sense than asking $5,500 for Portal, which I guess we should get into that. So this is my third time playing Portal, which I'm ecstatic about. And to start off with, I like the game. I like playing Portal. I waited in line several times yesterday to play it. You know, one time I waited 40 minutes. I waited 20 minutes. And then I had to help troubleshoot the game for a little bit last night. And then we got it going again. I got to play again. So I had like 3 games on it. This is my third time playing a Portal machine at a show. You know, but for most people, and reasonable people, this is the first time, of course. The only way you would have been able to play it before is if you went out to Texas to the factory tour, which I did not. Or I flew to Dallas to go play this thing at the show. I left between shifts at work without sleep, and I went to MGC to go play it again. And then I flew out to Boston yesterday to come here to the show to play it. Flew with Steve Ritchie on the plane from Chicago. That was super fun. Shout out to him. Did not bother him. We didn't have a moment. I'm a Hilton Honors member, so I get 2 free bottles of water. Thanks Hilton. This is like 60 cents. This is literally the least you could do. I love it. So anyway, I'm at the show, played Portal, had some good games on it. I'm learning the ball pass, I'm learning the rules, I'm playing through some more of the modes now. It's like I'm a seasoned Portal pro now at this point. You know, it's like here's Don from the pro shop, you know. Most people, again, they're playing this for the first time, and once we get 6 months down the road and people have played it, my scores are not going to be impressive. But for right now, just for the simple fact, I know how to get to the upper play field, and I have a feel for how that flipper works. For like the main moment of the game where the balls are going to the portal, that's fun, and it's something like I show off to people. You know, I'm trying to be a good ambassador of Portal. I don't know what a Canada is. No, we are in the United States here, but Canada not that far. It's right over there. So playing some Portal. I'm a game ambassador at this point. Of the humans on Earth, from the general public, I'm probably one of the ones. I got to be in the top 10% of people that play this game. Which is, it's my own private moment. It's not going to last long, whatever. So late last night, I was hanging out with my buddy Mike from a Discord, Silent J, and some guy's wife, Linda. I forget his name, but I remembered Linda. So Linda wanted to shout out. We're shouting Linda out. I was waiting to play the game. There was only like 4 people waiting. So I'm like, dudes, let's get on Portal. It's 10 o'clock at night or 11:30 or it was late. So we were there. Now, the whole time we were at the show, they had a guy from Multimorphic there. I think he did the code and rules or programming, but he would help troubleshoot things, and what a champ of a guy. He listened to all my questions, which was wonderful, because I was getting fed questions from people to bring up there. I don't have it. Just don't buy anything to Harry Potter, of course. Gino, you're hilarious. So last night, 2 guys were playing the game, Ball Trap, okay? Not a problem, not an issue. We'll figure it out. So we go over there. It's these 2 guys that were playing. It was myself and then one of the techs that had the keys, because the Multimorphic guy he crashed out. It was like 11 o'clock at night. And so there's this weird plastic. It's about 1.5 inches by 3 inches or so, and it looks like a ball deflector. And it's weird because it's a square, and its only point of attachment appears to be 1 screw all the way on the edge, right in the middle of the longest side there. And it looked like it was broken. And it's like, okay, it's a broken plastic. Plastics break, you replace them, you move on. So we're looking at it like, that looks like it's broken. Pull the glass, and it wasn't broken, but it was wedged to where like it was crossing over 2 different orbits in the back there. This plastic lives just underneath the wire form on the back right ramp. And I think it's in case there's an air ball that lands on the plastic next to it, it can roll down and fall into the abyss that's in the back, which I think feeds back to the ball trough. So this thing actually has an area routed a quarter way or 3/4 of the way around the mounting screw. And I think it's supposed to flex and sit, but this whole plastic with this area routed about it only has like a 5 millimeter width of a point of attachment to the actual main part of the plastic. And I don't think it was broken. I think it was just flexed out of where it needed to be. But I had questions like, is this thing crucial to the gameplay? Meaning, can we just remove this so that the game can stay up? And because the long lines were forming because the game is such a long player. Earlier in the day, we had 4 people, including myself, on it, and I swear we tied the game up for 40 minutes. These poor people had to wait while we're just going through. Finally, we just started draining our ball threes just so we could move the line along because we're playing so long. So I'm like, can we just pull this plastic? Like, does it need to be here? Because that would speed things along. But eventually, we all decided as a group that it's supposed to be kind of flexed on that little 5 millimeter point of attachment and angled down into the abyss. Now, it looks like if this plastic wasn't there, the ball would just fall into the orbit and then come back around. So I'm not sure what this plastic's for, and it seems kind of finicky. It's got a little bit of that J word. It's got a little bit of that jank. So I took a picture and I posted it online. It's 11 o'clock at night. I'm not going to call it multimorphic. The poor guy, the rep, went to sleep, thank God. So I'm like, hey, what's the point of this thing? Does it need to be here? Can we remove it to keep the game going? I actually got a message back from Jerry, which is cool. Wasn't terribly helpful. It's over on the Facebook page there. But okay, yeah, he seemed to think I was sandbagging his game. And like I said from the beginning, I like Portal. And I have a lot of questions. There's things in the public. I'm going to comment about it. Golden State's the bomb. I keep hearing that. And if Portal will be there, I'll consider it if I have the time off. I'm not trying to sandbag his game. I have questions, just because I'm curious about pinball. But other people have a lot more than I do. And they bring them to me, either like, there's random text or something talking about the game. They're like, hey, can you ask them about this? Or why are they doing this? Or I have one of these on location and it's having problems. Or the one that I play on location is never working. Like, what? So I was okay. I'll ask him. I'm not gonna avoid it. If I'm around, I'm at the shows, I'll go ahead and ask him. So I asked the dude last night several things. I asked him about the music loop. People have noticed. So when you're playing the game, just push start, plunge the ball. It's got this music that is very much like a do 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 do, just like a loop, like this like mechanical electronic sounding loop, kind of low tempo, an atmospheric sound, kind of like if you were to go to Epcot and go on one of their rides or be in line for a ride, like something from the 80s that they still have around, and you're just in a room for 5 minutes while you're moving through the queue, and there's just kind of like some experiential music playing, almost like you're going to enter a futuristic elevator. It's like that, but it's like the whole game. So this machine at Pintastic is in a smaller room. It's in the Pinball Tycoon room. And so you can hear the sounds, you can hear the music so much better now than TPF or MGC. So for the first time, I'm like, I can hear the music, I can hear the sounds, the turret shots, like the sound effects are great. The music though, it's like, it was putting people to sleep. Literally, like people had to leave and go to bed. They didn't want to wait for the game because they said the music was putting them to sleep. Not me saying it, that's them saying it. I concur. And so I asked the dude, like, this music, does it play all the time? Is that the plan? Because it's kind of like, I feel like I'm in a fancy elevator here. What's going on? And he said, and generally, whenever I ask something like this from the team, I get, well, this is very much the way it is, and you should appreciate it how it is. And that's kind of what I got. The sound team worked really hard to design a great sound package, and so if you get into a mode or if you get into the multi-ball, it changes, and you should like it, was the sense that I got, respectfully. And I'm like, it'd be cool, like for the first 20 seconds, it was playing this atmosphere, but as an intro, and then like, let's get into something with some energy, Final Resistance is fantastic, man. And I know you got Denise's number, get him in on this and like, punch it up. And this may be pre-production, early code, but that was just a suggestion, again, because I thought of it and other people had thought of it, and I was there, I asked them. All right, I asked about the arcade edition that people have been asking for. Like, picture Portal without, the module, just baked in, shrink the screen size 25%, so you have standard sling motors, standard shooter, flipper coils, right? So standard coils there. The whole thing is ringed, so it's stable. And you still have the screen, so you can still display the graphics and everything. Replace that line of the servo pillboxes and the shields with just like, one big flap that opens, or because this would be game specific, just a scoop that would come up, when it needed to, or some such. And then you've already done all the coding, the art, the concept, the licensing. Get us a SKU that we can take to locations for location operators. Something that, because if I had a P3 multimorphic and it was $13,000, I wouldn't want to put it in a pizza parlor, because there's got to be 6 or 12 servos underneath there running all those pillboxes. Those are going to fail. They're going to need to be replaced. I've seen how to open up a cabinet one time, and it was a bit convoluted. You have to slide like the tray out and then flip the thing up. What if it was just easy to pull the glass, flip it up like any other pinball tech already knows how to do, and get into those coils, make sure they're soldered, and you have access to everything, And then target $6,500 for the whole package, and then get this game, which is a good game, out to more people that just aren't able to get it in the full version. It's basically how I laid that out. And what they told me was, this is the perfect machine for location because you can switch the modules out. And I was like, no, I'm not, that's not the problem. The problem is the price. I mean, this module alone is priced the same as a Stern Pro. Like, I could put an Iron Maiden Pro on location and start making money for the same price as the extended version of Portal, which is the one you would want. We've heard the argument before. People have made it and brought it to me, so I'm just trying to relay it, since I'm standing next to the guy at a show. And very much like most things, it's this way, it's the best thing, and don't bring us your criticism. I don't know. So I don't know what to do, man. People ask me questions. I'm standing next to the guy. I'm gonna ask him, right? And then whatever they tell me, I'm gonna try to get it back to people. I do like the game, man. I like the game, and for the 100th time, I'd be interested in a $6,500 cabinet that had Portal in it that I could put on location without 12 servo motors. But what's the plastic? What does it do? What does the plastic do? Anyway, that's Portal. We'll play it some more. There was no topper here. The topper's super cool. This machine didn't have the topper, but it did have everything else. Look, the regular machine, like, it's got steel plates on the side of the cabinet so you can put the magnetic graphics on there, which I get. Great idea. But for the arcade edition, you don't need those steel plates. You don't need those heavy, expensive magnets. Decal, throw it out in the pizza place. Let's play some freaking Portal, man. Your sandwich should be ready in 12 minutes. Here's $1. Go play Portal. Get probably half a game on Portal in 10 minutes, but it's over there, Go play, go have some fun. That's all I'm thinking. That's all I'm saying. So that's Portal. I'm gonna go back and play it again today. I'm excited. The Hangover was awesome. So they took. I need to find out. Does anybody know some contact info for this Rita Hardy? I think is her name, and I forget. I got the guy's name written down somewhere. But can we find out? Anybody who knows them? Was this a Shrek or was this a Family Guy that they rethemed? Only because I'm curious. I kind of want to say Family Guy because there's a prescription bottle for what's that ADHD Ritalin? That stuff they used to give me. And it looks like, I don't know if they just took the Pawtucket Pat can and put that graphic over it or whatever. But regardless, dude, the thing is awesome. It's got a stripper flipper, an industry first. The left upper flipper for the game. On the top part of the plastic, they put this woman's body from the show, and then the side profile of her posterior is a plastic that's stuck on top of the flipper. So as the flipper's going, her booty's bouncing. Right? It's like torquing. So it's a torque flipper, which I fully support. I support torque flippers here. Get back to torque, right? So the Mike Tyson pop-up target, they took like his animated face and put it on there. Oh, God, I love it. There's a tiger up there. Mr. Chow is the upper pinball playfield, and they replaced either Stewie or Donkey with a Mr. Chow that comes around and talks to you. The integration between like the sound clips and the action on the game is really what sells it. But it was super fun. The shooter rod is a bottle of Jägermeister, like a little airline shooter. Perfect. It still has a price tag on it, like one of those red price tags you'd see at the liquor store. It's so great. I love the little details all through this machine. And they actually did some custom code and some custom animations for it. So it's fun. It's really fun. Would this theme work commercially? I think if you didn't give it to Pinball Brothers, it may. But hell of a homebrew, dude. I hope this thing tours around and shows up at Expo and shows up at TPF and the bigger shows so people can play this thing. Because fantastic, man. I would vote for this thing homebrew of the show for sure. It was an awesome game. I talked about stupid Spinal Tap. I ended up getting the ball. I airballed, and the ball just went up on a plastic and wedged itself behind a spinner where there's no way to knock that ball loose without turning the entire cabinet upside down. Just just plagued with bad design. I think any competent or semi-competent pinball designer could go through Spinal Tap and just like doing a home inspection, could tag it with blue painter's tape and be like, fix this. What you're doing here, this is crap. Don't do this. I did a lot of crap myself back in the day. This is crap. Don't do this. Speaking of crap, let's talk about Pinball Brothers, because we heard about Kong, Potter's coming, something from Barrels of Fun. But remember, there's 4 games this month, and Predator's the other one. And it's from Pinball Brother. I think we should call it Pinball Brother now because there's only one guy. The other dude left. Thank God. I said this in the live stream yesterday. Alien was absolutely their high point. That was Andrew Highway designed that. It's probably why it's a good game for Pinball Brothers. Queen, not good, and I know that was another design from someone else. ABBA, really not good. I've seen just a step down in quality, in enjoyment, in enthusiastic exuberance as we've gone on here for their games. It's not a good trajectory to be going into Predator now. So, I don't want to be an online jerk, right? I don't want to just tear stuff down. It's like the easiest thing to do. Portal's crap. Multimorphic sucks. Why are you supporting this company? Like that's not the way to do it. It's okay to have concerns. This game's available to the public to play. I'm going to comment as a public, but I want to give feedback. If I've got any criticism, I want to come with a potential solution as well. It's a good exercise to have. If you're going to criticize somebody, give them the criticism, but then also offer at least some kind of solution. So you're not just being a problem. You're being a problem solver, right? I'm bringing you the problem because my goal is to solve it. I'm not bringing you the problem to sandbag you, right? Plenty of people do that online. Plenty of people very successfully do that online. Positivity in pinball means like bring your criticism, don't sit on it, don't subvert it, don't deflect it. Meet it head on, address it, but like come with some constructive criticism. So ABBA is a bad theme for pinball. It's stupid. Don't do that. And if you're gonna do it in kind of like a high energy way, not in this like slow plodding whatever. Some of us have played ABBA. No one here because it hasn't been working, unfortunately. I really want to play it again. As a fan of absurd things, I like ABBA. But don't do that theme. Do something, here's the thing. You're not making a game for your friends. You're not making a game for yourself. You're a company. You've got a fiduciary responsibility to the money that you're in charge of to not do stupid, dumb stuff with it. Like making ABBA. You might want to make ABBA. Fucking make ABBA. But don't ask people to give you money for it. Don't put the fate of your company and all your employees resting on the success of ABBA. The people screwing this thing together are going to be screwed out of a job if you do that. So do this. Find something marketable. Find an 80s nostalgic film that people see and instantly are connected with, a license that you can get, and then something to bring them in. And then Predator came by. So yes, that's smart. Do that thing. Take this bad criticism for ABBA. Don't do that again. Do Predator. My concern is with the decline of quality I've seen with the game, starting from Alien, which Alien is not great, but it's really good. Theme immersion when you weigh everything together. If Alien had like a crisp layout, if Elwyn did the layout and everything else was exactly the same, fucking perfection, man. So I want Predator, it's going to be compared to Alien. Please just like take what worked in Alien, find somebody that can make it a little bit better, 10% better, and then boom, drop Predator's theme into there. And like we're back, baby. Pinball Brother, we're back. I know we mourn the loss of the other Pinball Brother. We'll be Pinball Orphan, but we'll be in this together, right? We ain't got time to bleed. I think that could work. So, problem, ABBA. Solution, not ABBA. Predator, perfect. Do that. Take the criticism, and if you bring criticism, try to offer like a potential solution because that helps the person out. This is somebody's project. They spend a lot of time with it. They're gonna take it personal. Don't, but they're gonna. So try to give them something else. If you're gonna, and I'm bringing the problems because I believe in the product. I want it to be better, right? I want to be a customer. I want to take out a home equity line of credit to get a multimorphic machine. I want it that much. And so because I want that, I'm not just going to sit around and wait. I'm going to try to manifest it. So I'm going to bring suggestions, is whatever I can do. I'm not on the team. I'm not even invited to the I don't want to be invited to the factory. I don't need to be invited to the factory. I don't need a t-shirt. I'll buy a t-shirt. I don't need a hat. I'll buy a hat. I bought 2 Portal t-shirts. I like the game. I want the game to be better. I want the game to be in locations, making money for location operators, letting people come experience the game outside of somebody's basement, outside of a show where they got to wait 40 minutes and can't hear the music. I want them to be able to play it. I want to be able to play it. I want to be able to run out to IO Arcade in Madison. I want to be able to go play it. I want to go to District 1 in Stevens Point. I want to be able to play it. I want to go to Interium and be able to play Portal. But it's got to be probably in an arcade cabinet for that to happen, if we're being realistic. And it may never happen. It may never happen. I don't know. What else we got? What else? What else? What else? We got Kong's Treat teaser yesterday, man. What else? King Elwin's next game. It says KE on the marquee above that plastic sculpted gong. The gong door from Kong. Make way to Gong Door. I'm gonna start calling it Gong Door. This game's gonna be great. I heard tale. Somebody said someone said Elizabeth from Stern said to somebody that this is his best layout. So there you go. Concrete confirmation. Dude, if I was playing Jaws last night, it's my favorite Elwin game. But yes, absolutely. I think the teaser was great. J-Pill 22. We only saw one thing from the playfield, which with X-Men, all we got was a Sentinel Rising. So I think that's apropos. I'm ready. I can't wait to see more. Hopefully on Monday, maybe by Tuesday. The 15th is when everything's getting released. Late in the day on the 15th, I know there's a trailer for the Stern Army people. There's probably one for distros in the morning, and noon is probably when we're going to see the real one on Tuesday. I'll be at Barrels, and we're going to be at Barrels with their brand new game, pulling out our phones oh God, we're going to be at Barrels. We're going to be at Barrels, and they're going to have a cell phone embargo. We're going to have to leave all our phones in the lobby, and then Kong is going to get revealed, and we're not going to be able to see it until we're done with all the barbecue at 6 p.m. Oh, God. That's going to suck, man. Hopefully we can all shuttle into a room and watch the Kong trailer from the Barrels launch. Oh, my goodness. That's going to be nuts. So the gong looks cool. Oh, God. We got Albert in chat. Albert, can you see me waving? I know River Hibberts is just 80 clicks away across some sound, some Newfoundland sound. But I can see you, buddy. Maybe Albert, we can look at the same moon tonight. You want to do that? That would be fun. Hour away by helicopter that'll probably plunge into the harbor. Jesus, man, did you see that? That was terrible. All right, so yeah, Kong looks cool. I was trying to read through the lines. I took a screenshot and I was looking at they specifically put blur filters on either side of that mechanism so we couldn't see the wireforms, which sucks. I wanted to see more. You could read a little bit of the inserts. There's going to be island modes, and it looks like hitting that gong is how you start an island mode. So that's what I know about Kong so far. But I love his wireforms, and playing. Trying to read comments, man. Playing Potter with the shooter snitch pit gave such a vibe. Absolutely. Playing Jaws last night and playing actually Avengers Infinity Quest Premium. Those wireforms in the ball pass in that game. The signature, that what makes me like it. You hit a ramp and the ball just swirls around all sorts of different ways on the wireforms in a way that works really well, complements what's on the play field. And so if Kong brings that, absolute winner, 5 out of 5 stars already. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know. It's hard to do this and read comments. So I'm fine with the Kong teaser and what it showed. I like that I saw some wireforms either side, ball pass and stuff. We don't know if this is in the middle of the gameplay field or if this is off to the side. So we'll wait and see that. But yeah, I'm excited. The little dangly bit on the Mandalorian is probably my least favorite part of it, that little swinging gate thing. But the dangly bits on Doppelganger and Venom is probably one of my favorite parts of that game. They're satisfying to hit. So I'm okay with dangly swinging things. I'm going to have to make another set of truck nuts with Kong gongs on them to put under Kong. All right. That's a new mod idea. We'll get in on that. Yeah, so I think that's fine. And there is a spinner. You can see a spinner very clearly just to the left of the gong. So the game will have at least one traditional spinner. And the gong, man, the swinging gong, the dangly bit. What dangly bit does Black Knight Sword of Rage have? Am I missing it? Dangler booty hype. Dude, dangler targets. Someone needs to make a mod and hook it up to a micro switch so you can kick the dangler under the cabinet to like trigger something. That could be your action button. Someone get a set of swinging truck nuts hooked up to a micro switch that can function as the action button. Because when I'm playing, I don't want to take my hand away to hit the action button and then go back to the flipper, but I want to kick the nuts of the game and have that trigger. I think, or a foot pedal or something, you know, or a foot pedal. So, okay, so we got a dangler, we got a spinner, we got some wire forms, we got Kong, he's in the jungle, Skull Island, Terror Island, whatever, love it. Kong's gonna be cool. We got this post from Jersey Jack yesterday, reportedly from Jersey Jack himself, and I'm wondering if it was really Jersey Jack that wrote that, or if it was JJP. Fuck, I fucked it up. Chat JJP, little post. We're bringing the magic back home. I love this. I think either bring Potter with Kong, so we have Kong and Potter going head to head, and let's have a freaking battle royale for supremacy in the market. I would love to see that. That's my first choice. I don't know if that'll happen, but I would love to see JJP and Kong simultaneous reveals. Let's freaking battle. But realistically, it may be several weeks until we see Potter, so that's fine. So it'll be Potter and Predator. That's not a great matchup, man. Yeah, it was probably Chat JJP. Albert, since you know the Chat GPT guys, because you had that guy on and interviewed him, maybe you could interview Chat JJP for your show. Show idea, free to use, that's for you. We're all excited about Potter, we're all excited about Kong. They're both going to be great games. I can't wait. And then for the next ever, we're going to compare and contrast which is the better game. And there'll be people in Potter's camp and people in Kong's camp, and we're never going to agree or change each other's mind. And I love that. And I'm probably going to end up with both of them. What I'm probably not going to end up with is a Predator. But I hope it's good for Jengez's sake. I hope Predator's good. And that leaves Barrels. We still don't know. I still don't know what they have. They're showing us something on the 15th, and there'll be some kind of embargo, I think. Vic VP, dude, we were talking about you yesterday. I met some friends with you. Mike from Long Island, I think it was. Let's do some shout outs here. We'll shout out Mike from Long Island. We'll shout out his buddy Silent J, not of the Insane Clown Posse, as it turns out. We'll shout out that random guy's wife, Linda, that I ran into, because I want to give her a shout out. Shout out to Scott from TNT. I got to run into Todd Tuckey again, man of the earth. What a cool guy. He was also there buying one of the last Diet Cokes. So me and him, we each got a Diet Coke. It was good times with Tom Tuckey. Jason Knapp was there taking photos. He's probably back over there now. I'm going to go hang out with the Napster. I love whenever I'm there. It was his first time seeing Portal. So he got to take like the picture, you know, like the Knapp Arcade photo of Portal. And so I got to take a photo of Jason Knapp taking the photo of Portal. I should frame that. Man, we'll give that away. You know, everybody will have, I'm sure, tin-type prints of Jason Knapp's exquisite photos, but I will have the photo of the photo being taken. I was also able to do that with X-Men too, I think, or Metallica or something. I was hanging out with him. So that'll be fun. Jason Knapp, cool guy. Colin was here briefly yesterday. I think he'll be here longer today. I think this is his home show. He lives pretty close to here. So we'll go hang out with Colin. And then all the random people that come up to me that I cannot keep track of your names, that were just like, hey, Don, I like what you do. Keep it up. Or, hey, Don, I hate your show. Die in a fire. Cool people, man. Cool people. Shout out to Steve Ritchie for sharing my flight with me. And I think it's time to head back over to the convention center. Although, maybe I'll drive to Maine real quick. Does anybody know, is there a breakfast place in Maine that I can go to that's close to the show? I just want to go back to Maine. It's a cool place. Everybody, I guess be cool, right? We'll chat later. Maybe I'll go live again. And then follow this YouTube channel, because primarily while I'm on this tour around the country, I think this will be how I surmise my information and get it out to everybody, because I didn't bring the whole studio with me. All right, Duder, Albert's gonna come pick me up on the ferry. We're gonna go to Nova Scotia, have a nosh. I want to go see the butterfly plantation that he lives on, and what up? So shout out to Linda. Everybody be good, man. I'll talk to you later. Peace and grease.